Hello, hockey fans. I hope everyone has had a good Friday. Some decent hockey on Friday night. We did all right. Minnesota, our main one, that one came through. And then the parlay, Minnesota, St. Louis, both of those hit. So, and the parlay hit. The ones we missed on, Detroit, which, yeah, Detroit should have had that game. Should have had that win, but we lost that one. And then over 5.5. Islanders in Arizona ended with 4, so we ended up a little short there. But all in all, we ended in the green. We ended up at positive, so that was good. And I'll post the results for the last 2 videos. I'll do that tomorrow, Saturday, when I've got a little more time. But Saturday, there were a couple matinee games and then some evening games, 11 games altogether. So let's go through them quick and make some picks. First one of the matinee games, we got Philadelphia and Buffalo. Buffalo, 2-6-2 in their last 10 current 1-game losing streak. Aaron Dell listed to be in net for the Sabres. Philadelphia has Carter Hart listed to be in net. They're 0-7-3 in their last 10 current 1-game losing streak. Sabres played a game against Dallas on Thursday. Special teams collapsed and allowed the Stars to convert 4 of 5. Buffalo had the lead after the first period. And even after the second period, it was still 4-3 for Buffalo, but the third was all Dallas, a final 5-4 for the Stars. Craig Anderson now skating with the team. Got to be a good sign, maybe some support for the net position. And you don't know when he's going to start, but you'd have to think it's going to be soon. Philadelphia, they just continue with their struggles right now. The worst goal differential in the division, sitting at a -36. They have lost 10 in a row, and I think it's the second time this season they've done that. I mean, they were down to Columbus 2-0. They continue to battle. A goal by Jerry Mayu brought it within 1, and another 1-goal loss for the Flyers. They outshot Columbus 34-29. Neither team able to take advantage of the man up. And another game where, Philly just close, but not able to get a W. I'm not that interested in this game. I mean, in the last 20 hockey games, only 2 Ws collectively between these teams. First meeting of 3 between these two. When you look at bodies out, COVID, long-term, short-term injuries, day-to-day, the whole bit. Sabres, I think, has 16 listed. Philly has 12 listed. Both these teams are pretty beat up right now. Money line, -120 for Philly or 1.83. Buffalo sits at an even +100 or an even 2.0 over under set at 5.5. I like Philly here, visiting favorite. I mean, some people are saying, has Philly mailed it in for the season already? I don't think so, right? I mean, they're in too many of these games. There's too many 1-goal losses, overtime, shootout losses. They're still in this season, and they just got to turn it around, and here's an opportunity. I like Philly. That's my first pick. Next one. Second matinee game, we got Winnipeg taking on Boston. Boston is 8-2-0 in their last 10 current 1-game winning streak. Tuukka Rask, I think we'll get the nod here against Winnipeg with Connor Hellebuyck between the pipes. 4-4-2 in their last 10 current 1-game losing streak. Boston fourth in the Atlantic and a little cushion now with 48 points. Last action on Thursday when they came out on top. 4-3 final for the Bruins against Washington. A power play goal with less than a minute left is when Boston broke the tie. With the win, Boston did lose a couple bodies, including Brad Marchand, which is a big loss. Charlie McAvoy, he's the one who scored the winning power play goal, playing well with 4 helpers in his last 4 games. No goalie confirmed, right? But I think Tuukka Rask is going to get the nod, and hopefully he'll look to improve that last performance when he was yanked after 5 found the twine on 12 shots in the first period against Carolina. Winnipeg, they were in Nashville on Thursday and lost 5-2 to the Predators. They were down 3-0 after the first, and it just seemed to be too much to come back from. They matched Nashville in the second and third with a goal apiece in each period. Outshot Nashville 38-23, 1 for 5 on the power play, but a bad start ended in a loss for the Jets. The Jets are continuing to get healthier. Brendan Dillon, Eric Comrie, both should be back. I think Wheeler could even be back and get some minutes in this game. Not 100% on that, obviously. Tough weekend at hockey ahead, right, for the Jets. Beginning here of a back-to-back. They play Sunday. They play Pittsburgh. So some tough hockey for this club. First of 2 games between these teams. And this is the 7th road game for the Jets now. They're on that long road stretch. Money line plus 145 for Winnipeg or 2.45. Boston minus 165 or 1.6 over under set at 6. I like the Jets, the healthier Jets, to get a win here on the road and start turning things around too. Jets to take that game. That's my pick. Next one, go to the first evening game. We got Montreal taking on Colorado. Really not much to talk about, but we will anyway. Colorado, Darcy Kemper listed to be in net, 9-0-1 in their last 10. Current 5-game winning streak against Montreal, with Caden Primier confirmed to be in net, 2-5-3 in the last 10 with an overtime decision for a streak. Colorado first in the Central with 57 points. A plus 46 goal differential, the best last 10 currently in the league, the best home record in the division at a 16-2-1. Thursday, their last win, a 4-1 win over the LA Kings. 4 goals from 4 different goal scorers, 1 for 1 on the power play. Kemper stopping 40 of 41, a .976 save percentage. Just another solid game from the Avalanche. Montreal, they played a couple decent games too lately. Tuesday, a 5-3 win over Dallas, and Thursday, a 4-3 overtime loss to Vegas. Canadians battled against Vegas hard, trading goals and leads throughout the game. Monteblanc, he was awesome. I mean, he stopped 49 of 53, 1 for 3 when the man up, but gave up 2 when down a man. And again, not too much to lean into here, right? I mean, the goaltender, Caden Primier, he's going to look to improve from the last time he was out on January 17th against Arizona when he played 40 minutes of hockey and 4 found the back of the net on 16 shots. Now going against the number 1 team in goals for. I think it's going to be tough for him. The series gets wrapped up here. Met once, December 2nd, 4-1 final in favor of the Avalanche. Money line plus 320 or 4.2 for Montreal, minus 400 or 1.25 for the Avalanche, or minus 1.5 if you look at them on the puck line, 160, minus 165. I'm just going to pick them to win the game. Colorado, no reason why they should not win that game. Colorado's my pick. Fourth game, Metropolitan Division matchup. We got Carolina taking on New Jersey. New Jersey, now the last place team in the division, 4-6-0 in their last 10. Current 3-game losing streak. Mackenzie Blackwood listed to be in net. Carolina has Antti Ranta confirmed to be in net, I believe. 8-1-1 in their last 10. Current 3-game winning streak, obviously on the tail end of a back-to-back. And again, like I mentioned, New Jersey now in last place in the division with 33 points. Last game was Wednesday, a 4-1 loss to the Arizona Coyotes. The Devils opened the scoring in the first on a power play by Nico Hischier, the lone goal for the club. They outshot Arizona 30-17. Dougie Hamilton's still out for this club, right? And they could really use his presence right now. They're missing some pieces, and it's hurting them. I mean, they're looking for a game, and they can't find it right now. Carolina, they traded spots with the Rangers after the Canes doubled up and defeated the Rangers 6-3, now first in the division. I mentioned this about another team earlier because I think it's a good indicator of how well a team is playing. 6 goals, 6 different goal scorers, 2 for 2 on the power play. And like I already mentioned, now on the tail end of a back-to-back. Short trip to go play this game for the Hurricanes. First of 4. This is a simple game that Carolina should win. Money line minus 210 or 1.47 for Carolina, plus 175 or 2.75 for New Jersey. Over under set at 6. You got to maybe think Carolina and even maybe look at the over 6. Carolina to win that game. Number 5, Arizona against the New York Rangers. Rangers 7-3-0 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. Igor Shesterkin listed to be in net for the Rangers. Arizona has Karl Vejmelka listed, confirmed to be in net. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. Both teams on the tail end of back-to-back play here. Rangers doubled up by Carolina, like I already mentioned, 6-3. Now second in the Metropolitan, tied with Carolina. Both teams with 56 points. Rangers tried to rally back in the game, but the Canes just seemed to be too much for him to handle. New York 2 for 3 with the man advantage, but also gave up a couple when down a man. Gorgiev having a tough night. I mean, 29-35, a .829 save percentage. Not terrible, but definitely not a good showing for him. Arizona blanked by New York against the Islanders 4-0. Coyotes held to only 17 shots, while Wedgwood faced 35. A very flat game for the Coyotes, where they just could not get anything going against the Islanders. Arrested Karl Vejmelka will be in net for this matchup, who has also won his last 2 starts. Teams met December 15th when New York won 3-2. This will be the last time that they meet this regular season. And I know Arizona's playing better, but if you look at the wins, they haven't really been that impressive. The only one was when I can't remember how many games ago, it was a few games ago when they beat Toronto 2-1. Other than that, not crazy impressive. Arizona plus 240 on the money line, or 3.4. The Rangers minus 300, or 1.33. Over under set at 5.5. Like a couple other games on this slate, this is one the Rangers should just win. Number 6, Ottawa against Washington. Washington 4-4-2 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. Samsonov listed to be in net for the Capitals. Ottawa with Anton Forsberg between the pipes. 4-5-1 in their last 10. Current 2-game losing streak. Capitals have slipped in this calendar year and now in 4th in the Metropolitan with 53 points. Thursday, a battle against Boston when the Caps led and trailed twice, rallied back twice, but could not find the W. A penalty late in the third period and a power play goal by Boston ended it. Outshot 33-17, 0-4 on the power play, and gave up 2 and down a man. Washington has lost 6 of the last 8. Ottawa, who has only played 5 games so far this year, last game a 6-4 loss to Pittsburgh. Sens tried to rally back in the third. Tim Stützle finding the back of the net and Josh Norris with a pair, but just too late. 0-3 on the power play. Hard-hitting game. I think I mentioned it in another video when I was talking about this one. About 101 hits registered in this game between the clubs. This will be the second of 3 teams met late October 25th. It was a 7-5 win for Washington. Money line plus 170 or 2.7 for Ottawa, minus 200 or 1.5 for Washington. Over under set at 6. I'm going to go to the visiting dog here, Ottawa, to get a win over Washington. That seems to be having some problems. That's my pick. Number 7, we got Toronto against the New York Islanders. Islanders are 7-2-1 in their last 10. Current 3-game winning streak. Varlamov listed to be in net for the Islanders. Toronto has Peter Mrazek confirmed to be in net. 6-3-1 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. New York has moved out of last place in the Metropolitan and now 6th and over 500. Friday night, a strong 4-0 win over Arizona. Brock Nelson with a pair. New York held the Coyotes to 17 shots. 17 save shutout for Sorokin. Islanders have won 3 in a row now against Philly and now Arizona, but a tougher test now against Toronto team that is going to be bringing a tough game, I think. They're going to be looking to make a statement. The Leafs, they last played Wednesday against New York Rangers. Toronto came out strong and led 3-1 after the first. The next 40 minutes held off the scoreboard and gave up 5. Campbell, a rough night, stopping 21 of 26, .808 save percentage. Mrazek has not played much, 4 games, and he's 2 for 2 so far. Austin Matthews with a 6-game point streak going right now. Toronto in that win one, lose one loop. I mean, they've been like that for the last 6 games if you look back. This is the second of 3 games between these clubs. Met first November 21st when Toronto handed New York their second straight loss in their new arena, 3-0. And the Islanders weren't playing as good a hockey then as they are right now. And I don't think that's factored into this. But anyway, money line minus 175 or 1.57 for the visiting Toronto team, plus 155 or 2.55 for the Islanders. Over under set at 5.5. I like the home team Islanders to win that game. Next one, we got Detroit against Nashville. Nashville has Saros listed to be in net. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. Current 1-game winning streak. Detroit, Nedeljkovic, I think, is going to be in net again for the Red Wings. They're 3-4-3 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Nashville third in the Central with 53 points. Preds have played the most in the division. There are 342 games already. Last action Thursday when they ended on the right side of a 5-2 final over Winnipeg. Nashville came out strong, led 3-0 after the first and never looked back. Good win for the Preds, who had lost 4 straight prior to that. And then Detroit, man. Detroit. Every time I start believing in Detroit again, they do what they did tonight. Looking like they had the game right, leading 4-3, and 1:03 left. Dallas nuts it up, and Red Wings lose 5-4 in overtime. Sure, they got a point, but they should have had two. They should have had that win. Tyler Bertuzzi leading in production for this team, 7 points in the last 3 games. Detroit is hanging around, and I do think some serious talent on this team. I mean, I've mentioned it a number of times now, and I kind of like Detroit, but they got to find some consistency. Teams met on December 7th when Nashville won that game 5-2, and this will be the last time that they meet this regular season. Yeah. Health edge, I think, has to go to Nashville. I think Nashville sweeps this series, actually. Moneyline plus 170 or 2.7 for the Red Wings, minus 200 or 1.5 for Nashville. Over-under set at 5.5. I looked at Nashville to win at home there. That's my pick. Next game, central matchup. Chicago against Minnesota again. Minnesota 4-4-2 in their last 10. Current one-game winning streak. Kappa Kokkonen listed to be in net for the Wild. Chicago has Kevin Lankinen confirmed to be in net. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. Current one-game losing streak. The Wild, 4th in the division with 49 points and games in hand. Hawks are in 7th with 36 points. A rematch of Friday night, right? When the Wild ended winning 5-1. Marc-Andre Fleury yanked after 4, found the twine on 13 shots, just over halfway through the hockey game. Capo for the Wild, he stopped 35 of 36. And I watched a good portion of this game, and the Wild looked in control of the hockey that I watched anyway, and just too good a team for Chicago. This will be the second of 4. Wild obviously are up 1-0 now. Money line plus 165 or 2.65 for Chicago, minus 185 or 1.54 for Minnesota. Over under set at 5.5. I like the over at 1.8 or minus 125. Minnesota to win the game, and I look to the over as well. Number 10, Pacific Division matchup, Battle of the Wild Wild West. Calgary against Edmonton. Edmonton, Mikko Koskinen looking for a better game than he had his last outing. 2-6-2 in their last 10, current 4-game losing streak. Calgary with Jacob Markstrom listed to be in net. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. And here we go, right? I mean, Edmonton off a 6-0 loss to Florida. Their 7th consecutive loss. Edmonton won in shots. It was 40-28 in favor of the Oilers, but 0-for-3 on the power play and allowed 3 when down a man. Koskinen with a brutal numbers, 22 of 28, a .786 save percentage. And you know what everyone's going to be talking about? Everyone's going to say because Calgary, who are just 4 points ahead of the Oilers, who aren't getting much flack in the media, also last played Florida, and they won that game 5-1. Calgary played a great game against Florida. There's no question. Going 2-for-3 on the power play and a perfect on the penalty kill. Markstrom, who will get the nod here, he was 2-for-2 so far this calendar year. And this will be the second battle of 4. And you know it's going to be a good game to watch. The first meeting was October 16th, and the Oilers won that game 5-2. Money line split, right? Vegas has just split it on this game. Both teams, the odds are at minus 110 or 1.9 for either Calgary or Edmonton. Over-under set at 6. I like the home team, Edmonton, to win this game and snap what they got going on and beat Calgary and win the Battle of the West. That's my pick. Next one, last one, we got Tampa against San Jose. San Jose has James Reimer confirmed to be in net. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Tampa has Brian Elliott confirmed to be in net, 6-3-1 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. San Jose took a loss Thursday, their last game, which was against the Seattle Kraken, a 3-2 narrow loss. Thomas Hertl and Timo Meier with goals for the Sharks. Timo Meier in his zone with 6 goals in his last 2 games. Thomas Hertl with a goal and I think 5 helpers in his last 2. And Reimer off a solid performance. Last game he played was that game against LA. He stopped 39 of 41 in that game. Tampa fell into second place with 59 points after a loss, and Florida with a win here on Friday night. The Bolts now 2 points behind number 1 Florida. On the back end of a back-to-back hockey, Friday night a 5-1 loss to the Anaheim Ducks, and now they travel and play again at Tampa. 7-man advantage chances, and they couldn't convert on one. The only goal from Tampa was 5-on-5, and it was by Ross Colton. First meeting between these clubs, they play twice this season. Money line has Tampa favored 2.10, minus 210 or 1.47 for Tampa, plus 175 or 2.75 for the Sharks. Over under set at 6. I like the Sharks to win at home. That's going to be my pick. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go Edmonton as my main one. I'll put 5 there. I'm going to do a parlay with Edmonton and Minnesota, and I'll do another parlay with Carolina and Nashville. I'm going to go Chicago, Minnesota over 5.5, and then I'm going to do 2 individual bets, San Jose Sharks and Winnipeg, 3 on each of those. The parlays, I'll go 2, 2, and 2. Over under 5.5, I'll go 3 there. So 5 on Edmonton, 2, 2, 2 on the parlay for Edmonton and Minnesota on the money line. Same with Carolina and Nashville on the money line. And then the other 3 wagers, the over 5.5, the San Jose and the Winnipeg game, all with 3. Regular picks. I'm going to go San Jose to beat Tampa. I'm going to go Edmonton to beat Calgary. I'm going to go Minnesota to beat Chicago, Nashville to beat Detroit, New York to beat Toronto, Islanders to get that number 4 win, Ottawa to beat Washington, the Rangers to beat Arizona, Carolina to beat New Jersey, Colorado to beat Montreal, Winnipeg to beat Boston, and then for that first game, Philly to finally get a win over Buffalo. Lots of hockey on Saturday. There's a couple of football games on too, so lots of sports. Enjoy. Good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Talk soon.